Now it's
Good
working.
afternoon, John.
Perfect. Alrighty. So, welcome Chester. Welcome Dragon. Noskin would have been here, but he had to rush to work, so do his class separately. But I'm gonna start. So, if you guys are tuned in to the stream, we're starting with claiming tickets. Every time a ticket is made, you must claim and investigate. If the player needs a TP, then TP them. If the player is accused another player of RDM, pull them. If the player doesn't specify what they need, pull them. Always handle the ticket, never claim and close. So even if the ticket is something as stupid as the letter A, you still take the ticket and you're still going to investigate. You never claim and close tickets because at that point you're just ticket farming, and that's not okay. So make sure you're always addressing each ticket that comes up. Admin chat. Pay attention to admin chat. It's very important that you're being mindful of not just leadership calls, but what your fellow staff are doing when there are problematic players around. Ignoring it isn't acceptable. There's been a couple times where I believe leadership has called for recruit, and no one does anything about it. They'll like pretend like I'll see these other staff members and running around the server and pretending like the leadership never called for it. You guys always have to attend to recruits when they're called for, myself included. So, and this goes the same with if another staff member needs help with, like Chester, for example, you can do this. You can help people with, I think, yeah, Juicy, you can help people too, like setting names, doing stuff like that, like lower ranking staff who can't do that. You need to help them. It's just because you're not going to get a ticket out of it doesn't mean you shouldn't help the player. Okay. So ECing, you as a staff member need to conduct yourself professionally when ECing or helping out with an event in some other capacity. That means listening to the GM and paying attention when they ask you to do something. Events go easier when everyone is paying attention. So when you do want to help the GM team by ECing, you are there to be professional and follow the GM's orders essentially. The GM says, "Hey, I need you to do this as this." You're going to do this as that. You're not going to go around killing everybody because that's what you came to the event to do. You're going to listen to the GM. Teleporting players. When teleporting players over large dupes, remember to hover a little in the air so that the player doesn't fall to the floor. It's good practice to do on maps without the dupes as well. Be careful not to be too high in the air. We don't want player to take damage when they fall. So when you do take a ticket, best practice is to probably go admin mode, immediately go in V-clip, hover a little bit above the air, I mean above the ground, and then teleport the player. That way, there's no chance of them getting stuck in a dupe, in the ground, anything. Just be careful when you're teleporting players. All right, I think this is the one, yeah, for you two in particular. Hopefully, it's
Oh
not
no,
lag.
it says Dragon and Chester.
Okay, yes. The other one had Noskin's name in it. I had to remove two questions. All right, so the Kahoot pin is on screen. It's 824905. Again, that is 824905. Ooh, both here. All right. What is the best way to teleport players? 20 feet in the air, a little bit above the ground so they don't get stuck. Directly on the surface? Yep. A little bit above the ground. That way they don't get stuck. It's always helpful to be doing that as well on normal maps where there is no plastic dupe. It'll get you in the swing of doing it properly on plastic dupes. So good job. If you help the GM team EC, what should you be doing? Be attentive, listen for direction and roleplay within the bounds of the GM set. Act like an ape and do what you want. Make up your own roleplay. Yep. Be attentive, listen for direction, and roleplay within the bounds the GM has set for you. You're not going to go off on your own little rampage and kill everybody or do something like kill another EC that was part of the roleplay and now you've ruined the whole event. You need to be there to help the GM. You're not there to do your own thing. A recruit joins the server or another staff member of Another member of the staff team asks for help. What do you do? Ignore the recruit or call for help and hope another staff member gets it. If a staff member, perfect. You're going to attend to the recruit or assist the other staff member as soon as possible. This is not something you pretend you didn't see. If you are actively playing on the server, more than likely you are paying attention to the bottom left of your screen. You need to be reading everything that's said in admin chat. So good work to the both of you that you both understand that. A minge running around the server creates a ticket that says, I hate you. What do you do? Claim and hold the ticket so the player stops making tickets. Claim and close the ticket. It's clearly a minge. Yep. You're going to claim the ticket, bring the player to the sit room, and handle the situation accordingly. Let's say the situation is they just keep making tickets like I hate you or stupid tickets that have no relevance whatsoever. You can either go down the route of punishment for minging or punishment guidelines for chat spam, depending how bad it is. If it's not really that bad, you're not going to go for chat spam, but if they keep making a ticket every 5 seconds, you do a sit with them, start going for chat spam and handle accordingly.
Chester, I swear to God.
Huh?
He was giving back shots and
Wasn't me.
As a TM, trial mod, you check the logs and see a player killed 7 people in 30 minutes and left. What do you do? So put yourself in the situation of a trial mod here. Alright? You're a trial mod. Are you going to jail, mute, and gag the player for 0 until someone who is on can ban? Ban the player for 2 weeks for MRDM. In staff chat, send pictures of the log. Yep. So the key word is that they left the server. So they are no longer on the server. So you can't possibly jail, mute, and gag someone who's not even on the server anymore. So you woke up, you checked logs, and you saw, hey, this asshole killed 7 people. So you send pictures of those logs to staff chat and Discord, the Steam ID, and request for somebody to ban them. All right, you pull a player for ERP, and during the sit, they call you the N-word. What do you do? Ban the player for 2 weeks for racism. System warn the player for ERP and send them off. Permaban the player because they hurt your feelings. Or permaban the player for ERP plus racism. Yes. So it's very good that you guys both know that overlapping purple rules broken results in a permaban. So you would obviously COC up your evidence, make sure it's sent up in staff chat, and management will take care of it. So good work that you both understand that.
Take care of it, Rick.
I'm not management, I'm server management.
There's a situation in which 5 players, this is for you, Chester, so this is open-ended. So there's a situation in which 5 players are killing people. What do you do in the situation? So you're just going to answer this open-endedly. So 5 players are on the server, Chester. What do you do? And they're killing people. No, answer it.
Oh, so you, is it mass RDM or is it just one?
There's 5 players and their problems, you can already tell. They're running around the server, they're killing people. What do you do in the situation? What do you think you would do?
Well, you would ask for other staff members to help since one person can't really handle 5 people.
Perfect. Yes. So
like the casting couch.
In a situation like that, you would try your best to get other staff members to help you out. And what I found works best is if each staff member watches one individual. If there are that many staff members, if not, one staff member can take 2 people. That way we're not getting confused. Hey, Chester's pulling so-and-so for this, but then Cardboard pulled that same person. There needs to be communication, which means having a staff member on each person would definitely help in a situation like that. So good work, Chester. Dragon, this one's for you. There's a situation where a player says the N-word in-game. What do you do? So tell me, what do you do in this situation?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would go to the guidelines, which would be racism/sexism, and that would be a 2-week auto ban.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So at your current rank of staff, what do you do?
Well, I can't ban over, I think it's like a day or 2, so I would do it at chat. I would clip it first.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm metal running, I'd be able to clip it. and then send the clip, Steam ID, and the name of the person, and then ask someone who's able to do that handle it. Because then I wouldn't be able to do anything at that point.
So
You'd be able to ban.
you would still
Oh.
handle the situation. You're able to ban, right?
Oh,
So what-
yeah.
So you would handle the ban, but you
Okay.
can only ban for a certain amount of time, right? So you
Yeah.
would ban for the maximum amount of time that you can ban for.
Ah,
You take that
okay.
clip that you got, you're gonna send it in staff chat with the
Okay.
CID of the offender, and
Okay.
you're gonna ask Croatia for an extension.
Okay. I've actually never been in that, never even heard of that situation,
Yep,
so okay.
it's good that
That's
this is part of the class. So
alright.
Or just ask Cardboard, because normally he's always
yeah,
on.
I can.
Alright.
He's a little freak like
Yeah,
that.
lead admins
Okay.
can ban for 2 weeks. up
So
to-
either way, I would still ban and then system
Yeah.
warn,
You
and
would
then
ban them,
but just send
it's-
it in so then they were able to be
Typically, it's your
longer ban.
sit, so you would handle the ban. But
Okay.
if you see like a lead admin above is on and they can ban for the allotted amount of time, maybe
Mhm.
say, hey, can anyone ban for this amount of time? Make sure you provide the clip to that person banning because they're not going to
Yeah.
outright just believe you. You need
Well,
to
of
provide-
course.
Yeah, you need to provide the evidence to that member of staff, and then
Okay.
they can handle it from there if
Alright.
needed. Most of the time, you can just use staff chat, COC, or clip up
Alright.
because you want to handle your own bans.
Yeah.
Chester, this one's for you. Another staff member is struggling to handle a sit and ends up issuing the wrong punishment. What would you do?
You would see if there's like a head admin that's if is it like a system one or is it just a verbal?
So let's say they messed up with a verbal warning. Some guy was going around. Here's one I've noticed before. Some guy, a 101st, walked in on a 501st training somebody, and the staff member pulled that guy for trainer baiting, but that's not trainer baiting. So what would you do in that situation where there's been a verbal warning issued towards someone that wasn't even trainer baiting?
So I would say in the admin chat or like go into the comms and ask them if I can talk to them in like staff chat for a sec. And then I would say, so that technically isn't trainer baiting because so and so, and the reasons that it's not.
Yeah. So what you would do is you would just tell the guy as politely as possible in staff chat or message him or something like, hey,
Yeah.
this isn't what you thought it was. This would actually fall under more of the lines of minging or something.
And then
This
I'd
is-
bring the other player and tell him that the verb was removed because it
No.
technically wasn't,
No.
or no?
No. This
You
because
would
the
not
situation's
put any
already been
punishment.
handled. Yeah. The situation's already been handled by a member of the staff team. So at that point, there's nothing we can do unless it's like been obviously a wrongful ban or something that'll get unbanned and handled. But if it's something like a verbal warning like that, it's already been handled. You just need to monitor the situation going forward, and the other staff member that made the mistake needs to understand where they went wrong in order to not make that same mistake in the future. So your your goal in that situation would to be correct the issue as best as possible to your ability and teach them how they're not going to make that same mistake going forward.
Yeah.
So it always explain why what they did was wrong. But never outright say, hey, you fucked up. Just be like, hey, maybe next time this wasn't this, whatever. Dragon, a player has joined the server and is saying Toad is a filthy digger. What do you do in this
Oh.
situation?
Oh
Ew!
my.
Digger, D.
So
Unfortunate.
not the other word. It's literally
No, this is
what he's
literally-
saying.
This is literally what he is saying. What do
I
you
know
do?
what
in
that
this
would be.
Man.
Refer to your guidelines if needed.
So would that be under rule loophole abuse?
Exactly. So
Yep.
what would you do? What
So
would-
it would be I don't know. Well, it says system warn. So
Mhm.
at first it would be a system warn, but do I still tell him as like a verbal that you can't do that, obviously?
You
And then it
always
would be a
tell
system
them
warn?
when you're innocent with a player. You always tell them why you're issuing this punishment.
Okay.
Because they might not even themselves know what they're doing wrong. Like
Yep.
that's why we have the verbal warning possibility
Yep.
for racism. Because some people just say the N word with an A as
Yeah.
part of their normal lingo.
Yeah.
They don't understand what they might have done was wrong because they didn't mean it in a
Yeah.
Racist
Question.
term.
racist
What?
term.
Punishment are we issuing here?
Rule loophole abuse is what he's
Okay,
saying.
just making sure. Just making sure.
So this
So
would
like,
be
I hear the
fall
jump to
under,
racism. Like,
yeah. So this would fall under rule loophole abuse. It'd be the system warn. You explain why, and the player most likely knows what they're doing wrong. But you would
Okay.
still explain why that you're issuing the punishment. You be quick with your sits. Don't let them talk over you, and you send
Yep.
them off and spectate them from there. Probably gonna do it again if they've done it once.
You
But
always want to
Makes
spectate
sense.
after you issue a punishment for
Yeah.
anyone for anything.
they're
Yep.
probably gonna do it again, but who knows? Maybe they'll be reformed.
Like me.
A player joins the server and has stated that he will take down the server. What do you do? Flip it, take to sit, ban the player for as long as you can, COC evidence, take to a sit, ban the player for as long as you can, COC evidence, clip the situation, and keep it on standby. Yes. So there's two right answers that could have been for here. So if you were a trial mod or a mod, you are unable to ban. So you would clip, ask for help. If no help, jail, mute, and gag the player for time 0. So that would mean for an indefinite amount of time. Or you can do it if you are able to ban, which you both are. You're going to clip it, take it to a sit, ban the player for as long as you can, and then COC evidence up through staff chat. So good work. What is the warn format for mass RDM plus racism? So look at the different ones. Or maybe there isn't one. Maybe you don't warn for permabans.
This is a trick cardboard, and a very tricky one.
I don't know, man.
what is happening here?
Guys, so we're
So
both
you-
autistic.
Wah,
Nice.
You
wah.
always, no matter, and the reason being, because I like that you both got this wrong, because I can explain this. The reason being you would still do the system warn is because what if you were wrong? What if the player killed 3 people and you pull them into a sit for a mass RDM ban, but they only killed 3 people and the racism? Your ban would have to be reversed, but it still needs to be a log that it happened. So you always need to system warn. If it's a console ban, if you banned, if it's a perma ban, it always needs to be a system warn following, just so there's record of it. Croatia and Reaper don't have to do that because their management, they can do whatever.
Yeah.
They don't have to system warn after a perma ban. That's why you don't see Reaper or Croatia do it. But if
You
you
also
are,
won't permabans.
yeah, what?
Can
Okay.
Aiden do permabans or no?
Yes, Aiden's management.
I thought
Yeah.
so.
So you have to put you have to put the system warn even if it is a permanent ban, which this goes based off of our 2 purple rules broken at the same time type
Okay.
deal. So that's why it does result into the perma ban.
Explain why yellow's wrong.
Yellow's wrong because it's MRDM plus racism. You
You
have
need to put the little
you need to
line.
put this
Yeah, I
line
was just
in
making sure it
between.
got answered because
Yeah.
they did get the yellow one wrong too.
So there has to be a line in between each one. So even if, like, let's say LTAP was in here, I guess. I mean, it's
You
kinda
do
weird.
LTAP and then
Yeah.
×2 punishment. You have to put that in.
Yeah, in between each separate rule needs to be a line. Okay? So we don't do pluses when we warners or ban people.
That is insane, by the way, Jester.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
First place.
W.
Who is
Good
it?
job.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I'm a bad staff member.
Good job to both of you. So you
Thank
both did
you.
really well. Any questions so far this week? Anything that happened during the staff meeting? Anything that happened in game? Anything you're having trouble with?
No,
Not at all.
I was still curious about the random arrest one because I've seen someone random arrest someone and then
So let's talk
I don't-
about that.
that's I know that's an automatic system warn,
So,
but I've seen that happen and then they said to not warn him.
was this management telling you not to, or leadership or management telling you not to warn him?
Yeah,
And it it was Reaper saying, "Hey, go arrest that guy," because he thought it was a joke, or a funny joke or something. It happens. You know, Reaper will just go say, "Hey, go arrest that guy." But if management or leadership is actively telling you, "Hey, don't do that," you should listen to them. But it's good that you're attentive towards those things. But again, like I keep harping on, if they say don't do it, don't do it. It's in your best interest. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns about this week? Staff related
Don't think
stuff,
so.
personal related stuff. Who needs therapy?
I do.
I always need help.
Tarkov has made me go down the drain.
Me too.
Hehehe.
Anyway, all right. Well, if Rec doesn't have anything for you two are free
Good
to
to go.
go. Okay,
Yep.
you
I
two,
don't want to go.
you're good to go.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.